Hello, my friend. Have you ever stopped to imagine what it would be like to live in a world without cities, without writing, without agriculture, and without any of the structures we now consider essential? The truth is that for thousands of years, humanity lived like this, nomadic, hunting, gathering, and wandering the lands in search of survival. But then, something extraordinary happened. In different parts of the planet, small human groups began to discover a new power, the power to organize into societies. This was the seed that gave rise to the first civilizations. From the fertile valley of Mesopotamia to the sacred banks of the Nile, humanity's history took a gigantic leap. The first cities emerged, the first temples, the first codes of laws, and even the first writings that recorded dreams, achievements, and even wars. And this is where one of the greatest revolutions of our species begins, the moment when we stopped merely surviving and started building the future. Get ready, because on this journey, we will explore how the first civilizations were born, what their legacies were, and why, even today, they continue to influence the world we live in. Chapter 1. The Cradle of Civilization. Mesopotamia. In the heart of the Middle East, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, was born what many call the Cradle of Civilization, Mesopotamia. There, over 5,000 years ago, the first peoples discovered that irrigated land could yield abundant harvests. What was once the uncertainty of hunting and gathering transformed into stability. Grains, fruits, and domesticated animals ensured enough food for everyone. This simple but powerful change was the first step for humans to finally stop wandering and start building. With agriculture came food surpluses, and with them, something new: trade. Villages grew, became towns, and soon transformed into grand cities like Uruk and Babylon. It was in Mesopotamia that the first writing systems also emerged, like the famous cuneiform script, which recorded everything from commercial transactions to laws that shaped societal behavior. Imagine this. For the first time, stories, treaties, and even dreams no longer depended solely on human memory, but were recorded on clay tablets. This was more than communication. It was the birth of recorded history. Mesopotamia shows us that when humans learn to organize, they don't just survive, they transform the world around them. Chapter 2. Ancient Egypt, the legacy of the Nile. While Mesopotamia flourished in the Middle East, another extraordinary civilization was rising along the banks of the Nile River. Ancient Egypt was not just an empire. It was a true work of art built by nature and human ingenuity. The Nile, with its regular floods, turned the desert into fertile fields, allowing the Egyptians to produce food in abundance. Without this gift of nature, perhaps Egypt would never have existed. But Egypt didn't stop at agriculture. There, humans dared to challenge the impossible. The imposing pyramids of Giza, grand temples and statues were erected, which still puzzle science and inspire awe worldwide. More than just constructions, these works represented the quest for eternity, the connection between heaven and earth, between the human and the divine. It was also in Egypt that hieroglyphic writing became established as a way to record everything from sacred rituals to political events. Each symbol, each detail was a bridge between the present and eternity. Moreover, the social and political organization, led by the pharaohs, showed the world the power of a structured society with common goals. The legacy of ancient Egypt spans millennia. Its discoveries in architecture, medicine, and even astronomy remain a reference. When we look at the pyramids, we don't just see stacked stones. We see proof that human ambition can transcend centuries. Chapter 3. The Agricultural and Urban Revolution. If Mesopotamia and Egypt showed us where it all began, it was the agricultural revolution that truly transformed human life into something entirely new. Before it, humans lived unstably, relying on the luck of hunting and gathering. But when we learned to cultivate the land and domesticate animals, we opened the door to a future of abundance, and with it, new challenges. With agriculture, populations grew rapidly. Villages that were once small and simple began to expand. Houses of mud and stone gave way to streets, squares, and protective walls. And so, the first organized cities were born. It was in this setting that more complex social structures emerged: leaders, priests, warriors, merchants, and workers. Each person began to have a specific role in the machinery of civilization. This model allowed incredible advances: the first irrigation systems, the first large-scale commercial exchanges, and even the first codes of laws, which organized group coexistence. After all, for a city to function, it needed much more than food. It required order and cooperation. Agriculture not only fed the body, but also created space for humans to feed the mind. With more free time, art, music, organized religion, and even early philosophy emerged. With every harvest, with every stone raised, humanity took a firmer step toward the world we know today. Chapter 4: Culture, Religion, and the Legacy of the First Civilizations. With the formation of the first cities and the development of writing, humanity began to build something even more powerful: culture. Each civilization brought with it myths, stories, beliefs, and traditions that would shape future generations. In Mesopotamia, gods ruled the fate of cities. In Egypt, pharaohs were considered intermediaries between heaven and earth. Religion became a guiding thread for social, political, and economic life. Beyond faith, the first civilizations left an impressive legacy in art, architecture, and science. Temples, palaces, paintings, sculptures, and systems of counting and calendars were created to organize time, record achievements, and inspire posterity. Each invention, each masterpiece, was a testament to the power of human creativity when united with organization and collective knowledge. What's most fascinating is realizing that many principles of these societies are still present in the world today. Laws, agriculture, writing, administration, and even religious practices have roots in this early period of human history. Understanding these civilizations is understanding who we are and where we come from, revealing that every step we took in the past shaped the future we live in now. Learning about the rise of organized society reminds us that cooperation, innovation, and the pursuit of knowledge are the true driving forces of humanity. If you are enjoying this journey through time and want to discover more about the mysteries and achievements of humanity, don't forget to leave your like right now, subscribe to the channel The Human Journey, and activate the notification bell to not miss any chapter of this incredible journey of our species. And share this video with a friend who loves history, curiosities, and everything that reveals the power of humanity. Together, let's explore the past to better understand the present and build an even grander future. A big hug, stay with God, and see you next time.